one or more of your rudiments. Work on hand development. In 5 to 15 minutes, you can also work on a new beat. In 5 to 15 minutes, you could also play along to a song probably about 3 times. So that's quite of a lot of things that you can get done in 5 to 15 minutes. And you'd be surprised of how, if you do that regularly, how it'll start making an impact on your drumming. So you might say to yourself, well, I'm really busy and I don't really have time to practice. Well, you might want to reevaluate that statement if that's true. Um, are you, spending time doing things that are not contributing to your drumming success, like perhaps, watching TV when you don't really need to, or maybe um, through your social media feeds? I mean, we're only talking 5 to 15 minutes here. I think everybody who is serious about drumming can find that kind of time somewhere. What I would suggest is actually making your practice routine, um, keeping it at a certain regular time throughout the day. One option would be to actually practice early in the morning. This is what I do currently, being the fact that I do work a full-time job outside of drumming and the telecom industry. So I've got that, plus the fact, like I've told you already, I've got 2 kids. So um, after I get off work, it's a lot of getting them ready and their after-school activities and homework and things like that. So by the time I get home, it's pretty late, and the day is pretty much over, and I'm tired and ready to go to bed. So for me, what works is practicing in the early morning. So that may be one option for you. You could also use lunch breaks to practice too. You can buy small portable practice pads that you could probably practice, go and find somewhere quiet to practice on, work on your hands and stuff. Or you could, I don't know, there's a variety of ways. You could just drive home on your lunch break if you live close enough and practice then. Another option would actually also be to practice late at night. So, you know, if you're one of those night owls who like to stay out late, well, or stay up late, you could definitely work on practicing at night after you've got everything else done. So, I'm going to give you some tips as well for some equipment that might be helpful for you to practice with. I've already kind of mentioned the practice pad. There's a variety of styles of practice pads and sizes. You can get practice pads that are, very, very small, about 6 inches in diameter up to, a full size almost drum. So practice pads are definitely a helpful tool. I've got one. I probably need to get another one actually, just to be able to carry that thing around and practice whenever I have a spare moment. So practice pads. Evans makes my favorite one, the Real Feel, which is a double-sided practice pad that has a hard rubber and a soft rubber surface to give you a variety of rebounds and textures. But there are other companies that make great alternatives as well. So just explore and find what works for you. Another tool that I use for my practice and perhaps could work for you is actually electric drums. The reason why those can be helpful is you don't, well, they still actually make noise, but they make a lot less noise, I would say. So that can be helpful, especially if you live like in an apartment or a situation where you're in close proximity to other neighbors and you don't want to disturb them. I've also used the electric drums to practice early morning or late at night after my kids have gone to bed. I've set them up in a separate room and added some additional muffling on the walls, just kind of help dampen it. And I've been able to do that successfully without bothering everybody else in my house. The electric drums also make it easy because you don't have to tune them, and recording is pretty easy as well because you just plug it in and you're ready to go. And it's great for practicing along with songs because you can put your headphones on and you can play, get a pretty good, accurate, drum set sound of what you're trying to mimic there. So if you're playing a rock, practicing to a rock song, you can set your electric drums kind of a rock kit and kind of get that sound and feel that you're looking for. Also built into the electric drums are usually a metronome, which is a device that keeps your time based on